All right, I believe we are live. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Kevin Connect coming to you live from my home office in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, right outside Sarasota. I want to welcome you to our live broadcast here tonight on Sunday evening. The title of our broadcast, what did I wrote it over here so I would remember? We're going to talk tonight about the exact game plan that you can choose to follow to generate, $3,000 part-time or $1,000 more per month on a full-time basis, right from your home office. And we're going to give you the exact plan. And just to give you a little background, my wife Melissa and I, she's not here, she's actually traveling with the family tonight. We actually followed this plan back in 2012 to escape bankruptcy and went to a $20,000 a month. And we haven't been anything less than 5 figures in 28 months. Not typical results, but I want to let you know that it is possible. And you want to see the income disclosure at the bottom of this page. And by the way, there's a red button at the bottom of the page as well, so you can just, as you're listening to the broadcast, and you probably find yourself already thinking, what the heck, let's just see what this is all about. And I've got a special guest with me here at the broadcast tonight as well. I'm just looking at my other screen here because I wanted to make sure we're actually recording this just to be sure. And so without further ado, we had a couple other people who were scheduled here, and I think they're going to pop on here in a little bit. We just switched time zones today here in the United States, so I'm wondering my friends over in the UK and in Australia maybe forgot what time it was here in the United States. But anyway, I want to introduce Roberto on the broadcast. Roberto, are you with me? I can see you in the bottom of the screen there. Come out and say hello.
Yes, I'm right here. I'm right here, Kevin. Hello, it's great to be here. I'm pretty excited about what you're going to share this evening.
Awesome. Well, Roberto, I definitely want to introduce you. You're somebody that's known us for quite a while, and I love your story about how you're a dad, you're a father, well, that's the same thing, a husband, and an entrepreneur at heart. And I know for years you've been looking for the right system to be able to come home because maybe working your whole life just isn't what you had in mind. So I'd love to hear your introduction of what has you here, and tell us for the next couple minutes or so about yourself. I'd love to hear your story.
Sure, absolutely, Kevin. Thanks for the opportunity again. And so, well, as the story goes, you know my story. I've been in the military, or I was in the military for a long, long time. I made a career of it, Kevin, and it's a very honorable profession. Being in the military is just something that was really dear to me. And but with that, Kevin, with that came great responsibility and a lot of time, because the nature of the military is that you support and you do as they say, and I did that. I did that for 20-some years, and I just retired recently. But during that time, Kevin, I met you some years back and got involved in this industry, and during that entire time, I always had my eye on what was my life going to look like after leaving the military, because at some point, all good things come to an end. And another chapter opens, more opportunities. And so, I had this conflict in my mind and in my daily action, because I can only do so much. I can only do so much with a certain business. Kevin, you cut out. Are you still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Roberto. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I can only do so much with the time that I had my day with my military commitment. So, it's always a struggle to find an opportunity that would allow me to have automated systems in place so that I could put in, an hour or two, or whatever time I had, maybe at lunch or sometime before going to work or right after work, without taking just an enormous amount of time I really didn't have to dedicate to a business. And because the lack of systems in other businesses and other opportunities, I just couldn't really gain any traction. And so it wasn't until I retired last year, hence the obligatory goatee, that I was able to reconnect with you. And because, as they say, I'm kind of sidestepping here, but as they say, build a list, because there's people that'll watch you and follow you. And anyways, I had been on your list for a long, long time, Kevin. I'm glad I stayed plugged in to following where you've been, what was working for you, and what was working in the industry, and I decided to restart the business.
Awesome, Roberto. And it's been Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Roberto?
I can hear you.
All right, awesome. Hey, I want to thank you for for just.
I can hear you loud and clear.
I want to thank you for the nice words, and also and just for being sticking to it. A lot of people don't know that Melissa and I, when we first decided we wanted to work from home, I actually tried on my own for 4 years before I met Melissa, 1994, 95, 96, actually 97. I guess that's, 4 years. And I made more than $500 a month. It wasn't until I met Melissa at the end of 97, going into 1998. She was actually tapped into a group of people who were making 5 figures monthly, so she was actually able to show me how to actually start making money. And I know you, Roberto, when we first met, in that other business, you were making money. And unfortunately, that wasn't an easy model to duplicate for a lot of us. And here, what we have, internet marketing, certainly, you said something really important, the value of learning to build a list, a subscriber base, so people can follow you, how to put yourself on a broadcast like this, how to blog, which we're going to talk about here in the broadcast, and also just how to create a following so people will recognize you, whether a year goes by or 10 years go by. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot. I'm starting to get a lot of people now. I'm 44 years old, and a lot of my friends that I went to school with 25 years ago. Is that right? 25? Yeah, I guess about 25. I was 19. Like they're starting to realize that, holy cow, I've lived more of my life out of school than in school, and nothing's really happening. So a lot of those people are now getting on Facebook and starting to look me up and look up Melissa. And I know, Roberto, you're probably having the same thing happen. So a really good skill that we're going to talk about here in the broadcast tonight is how to market yourself. So that way, when people are looking for you, they'll be able to easily find you. And of course, you can provide a solution to their problems. And most people's problems these days are, hey, I have more month than money. Gosh, I didn't take a vacation again this year. And my gosh, my kids are 16 years old now. I don't even remember the last time I had a real conversation with them in the last 5 years. They're going to be out of the house in the next couple of years. So let's talk about that here in the broadcast tonight. I saw somebody pop on here. I think I saw Davin over there. He messaged me and said he's having some connection issues, so I think he's working through that right now. So he'll be on here shortly. But Roberto, I'd like to ask you, because I know you have kids just like us, and what are some of the benefits? Like what are some things you've worked from home? What are some things you've been able to accomplish working from home that you never would have been able to do had you not made that decision for yourself? What are some things that have really worked out for you so far?
Well, it's funny you should mention, because it's just been a real relief from not knowing what to do and how to help my daughter. I have a daughter, and I'm a grandfather now of 2 handsome little boys. And if it wasn't for this business, I wouldn't have the time freedom to take care of them at a drop of a hat. Oftentimes, because she's a single mother, so oftentimes she'll be called into work or have to work late and not know what to do with its children. So for me, it's that time freedom to be able to say, yes, bring them on over. That's okay. I can listen to Inner Circle Audio. I could still actually stay plugged in doing something, because working from home, I don't have to worry about not being able to get something done. It's all here. It's all automation. It's just that time freedom, Kevin, really is what's most valuable to me. And and the other thing, not having to ask the boss, hey, can we have a day off? Come on, Noah. We're grown-ups. We should be able to make those decisions on our own. Exactly, and I see we've had a new entry to the broadcast, which distracted the heck out of me, and probably you too, Roberto. And that is our good friend Dad over there in the UK. Hey, Dad, welcome to the broadcast.
Hiya. You all right?
Yeah, I just want to give you a quick introduction here. Davin and Catherine over there in the UK are exactly what Roberto's talking about. Now Roberto has his mask on. My mask is downstairs. I don't even have mine. But what was really cool, we just had a live event last week, I think it was, over in Orlando, about 115 miles from my house. And, oh gosh, Roberto's flight was about 12 hours from Alaska, and Davin and Catherine's flight was probably about the same, coming all the way across the pond from the UK. And I'm just really proud of you guys for making the long trip, because especially with your two little kids, it's not an easy decision to make coming to your very first event. So, Davin, over to you. I'd love to hear your story and why you're here, and a little bit more about what's going on. And by the way, I have a tip for you. If you turn down your screen brightness, your glasses won't shine so much like they're shining.
Okay.
Because I do that all the time too. It's harder for you to see, but everybody else will see you better. But over
I can't work it out. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean we decided that we wanted to go to the event. and, had a few discussions about maybe I was just going to go because it was difficult to take all the kids because Catherine's still nursing Jack. But Catherine really wanted to go as well and said that I want to be on the same page as you, and we were really glad that we did it. We were just buzzing afterwards, and we just really enjoyed being at the event. It was just amazing, really amazing.
God, I wish I had some pictures up here on the screen. I'll have to be more prepared next time we do one of these. But talk to me about your why. Like, why you and Catherine have... How old are your two little kids again? They're pretty young.
Jack's 9 months old. Grace, not quite 2.5.
That's incredible. I remember taking Tanner on a flight when he was 9 months old, but we only went from Pennsylvania to Arizona, only about a 4-hour flight. How you guys went overseas with two for the price of one is incredible. I mean, it's it was such a delight to see you guys there as a family and really show them, maybe the 9-month-old might not remember the trip too much. But for you guys, it really creates a statement about building your business. I know you guys are having results, and we're going to talk about the system that we're using to generate results with the iPass system here in just a moment. But talk to me about how, well, first off, a lot of people don't know your story. Like, why are you here? What kind of work do you guys do now? And why would you have a crazy home business instead of just doing what you've been doing?
Yes, myself and Catherine, we're both financial advisors at the moment. And we've been doing that for quite a long time. I've been doing it for about 19 years, Catherine for about 18 years. And we're both, we're not new to running our own business because we're both self-employed. So, we don't get paid a basic wage, we get paid commission, etc. But even though we've, got our own business, we're still kind of stuck to a certain extent. We're still, I think the people we really related to a lot were the Beaslers, who were in a very similar situation to us. They were, professional people. They were management consultants, but like they said on stage, they couldn't really escape their clients. They'd be on holiday skiing and have to take a phone call from some clients who desperately needed to speak to them, and everything had to stop for them. And it's exactly the same with us. Even if we go away on holiday, we're still having to be at the beck and call of clients. And we just wanted to do something. We just wanted something that was would give us more freedom, without the idea of being able to work from wherever we wanted to work from a beach. And just do something completely different, and that's really where kind of where we are. Really want to do something different. We want more freedom in our lives, and we're just not getting it at the moment.
Got it. Awesome, and I appreciate you being up. By the way, Davin's up at, what is it, 1:16 a.m. over there in the UK. I know it's only about 8 o'clock here where I am, and Roberto, it's only, 4 in the afternoon where you are right now, so...
You're early here.
Yeah, we're spanning all the way around the world, which is pretty awesome. And that's the beauty. You can build a business from home and live where you love and have similar results as a connection, and you can be around your family, whether you're in Europe, whether you're here in the United States and North America, or whether you're down under in Australia or over in New Zealand. I know we have people dialing into the broadcast here from just about all over the planet. So, by the way, if you haven't already done so, you're probably feeling like, well, I just want to find out what this is all about. And you can actually get a 7-day trial of what we're talking about by clicking that red button down below there. It says Join Our Team. And whoever invited you here, you'll actually see the system that we're using to generate sales. Some of us on a daily basis and some of us on a weekly basis. But I'll tell you what, when you can be around a team where results are typical, and even though results are not typical, I have to say that very carefully, by the way, in case the feds are watching or listening, right? Results are not typical in the home business. I want to address that here for just a minute, because I know we have a lot of people watching live and recorded who say, well, Kevin, you've been doing this for a while, or Davin, you're just good looking, and Roberto, you've been doing this for a while as well. What about me? How can I? And you go and look at the income disclosure, and you see that 9 out of 10 people aren't really generating a good income. Why is that? And I'll answer that real quickly here. And the answer is because people don't follow directions. You know, they want the easy way out. And I want to talk about Davin and Roberto here because I'll tell you what, it's not easy to get on a broadcast at 1:17 a.m. local time. It's not easy to sacrifice at times, like Roberto has over the years, to take care of his grandkids, you know, at the moment's notice, when he maybe would rather be doing something else, but he does that. It's a characteristic of doing the right thing and knowing that it's work. And if you'll do that for an extended period of time, whether it be 90 days or maybe a year or 3 years, truth of the matter is the next 2 to 4 years are going to go by anyway. If you take no action right now, nothing's going to happen. So you might as well just decide to take action and align yourself with people who are having the results that you know you're looking to have. And just last week, for example, all three of us converged on Orlando, Florida, where we had, I don't know what, 1,500, 2,000 people in the seats, and I just met person after person after person who had a heart of gold and a work ethic to make things happen because they had goals and dreams. And I don't know about you guys, Davin and Roberto, but when I worked my job back in the 1990s, I haven't had a job since 1997, I didn't surround myself with a dream, people who had dreams. They just were grinders like, oh, it's Sunday night again. We're going to go through that drive tomorrow morning, back to work, back to the grind, and oh, the bills still aren't paid. I haven't done my taxes yet this year, and I don't even know if I'm going to get a refund. You know, like that whole mentality, maybe somebody on the broadcast right now, you can relate to that. I'll tell you what, if you just decide once and for all to make a change for yourself and to surround yourself with people who are having the results, that's what's available here for you. So maybe you guys can talk a little bit more about this as far as when was that moment for you guys when you knew that maybe what you were doing was not enough and you knew you had to make a change? What did that feel like? Or what are some of the things that went through your minds? Because I know somebody's watching right now who's probably wondering why Davin or why Roberto, you guys are crazy enough to join Kevin and Melissa and go on this journey. So I'd love to hear from one of you about that or whatever else you want to talk about.
Yeah, sure, Kevin. You know, I tell you exactly what you were talking about earlier. When you go to a job and you're surrounded by the same people, and you're at a job where maybe folks are just tired, you know, and I was in the military, and you know, the military it's a tough business. You know, long hours, you're paid on salary, and deployments and that kind of thing. You know, it kind of wears on you. And after so many years of just being in that environment, you're thinking, man, there's got to be a better way. And for me, it's always been about, you know, how can I really do something that that I truly love. And let me backtrack here for a second. I was in the medical profession, so for me, I had a lot of I really liked helping people a lot. It was very satisfying, very fulfilling to help people when they're in their weakest state, you know, an illness, be it physical or mental or both. So for me, having that kind of same feeling, I wanted to recapture that. I wanted to retain that feeling somehow. And for me, I found it here, working from home, helping other people. You know, it's very gratifying and fulfilling to be able to continue to give back to society, to humanity in a certain way. And you know, I have found that with working from home, and I know that coming out of the event, not only do the leaders feel that same way, but everyone else in this business, everyone that I talk to, they just feel so good about helping people find their purpose in life, and a lot of people don't know it until they see this opportunity. So I feel real strong about being that light that people can be attracted to. This is the path. There is a better way. And you know, and I never really like to talk bad about what people are doing because they're in their own place now. But a lot of them are searching. You know, they're searching just like I was, just like you were, and Davin, and you know, there's just so many people who are searching for a better way, and I just want people to know that this is a real opportunity. We're here to help. You know, the money's great. I can't sneeze at that. And we do what we do to provide a better a life, better opportunity for our families and kids and all that. But I think it's just really important for me to be able to to show people that there's a better way. The other thing I wanted to mention, apart from all that, is that for me, going to the event was this. I've been to a lot of events, but this one was just a pivotal event for me because I came out knowing more about why I am doing this. I came out of that event knowing more about the business, of course, and the technicalities behind it. But it was really a relationship building event for me too, because I actually met somebody at the event who I'm going to be meeting with after this after this webinar, rather after this Google Hangout, because I made a connection there, and we're going to mastermind. So the value of the event is just golden for me. I can't. Just like other people have told me over the years, you got to get to the event. Kevin, you said, hey, get to the event. You've always just put that out there, inviting people to the event, because there's certain things that you gain from that from attending the event that you can't get from a live stream, you can't get from a webinar, you can't get from just using the products or services of whatever business you're in. So I'm feeling pretty pumped about that. I'm starting to build a network of people that are mastermind, people like you and just the entire community. So I just invite everybody who's listening, either live or recorded. As you stated, Kevin, press that button down below. Get your trial system going and get to know us.
Awesome. How about you, Davin? I mean, I know you've been in the conclusion, but what was that breaking point? Did you have some kind of moment where you thought, you know what, it's just time. Enough of this. What comes up for you in this conversation?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, a lot of it for myself was a lot more to do with the kind of people and actually been around positive people, because I've spent an awful lot of time been around people who are completely disempowering, and I'd include amongst that people that I work with, family members, people, so-called friends, who in actual fact have really done everything that they can do just to put me down or keep me in a particular place. And I've spent an awful lot of time being surrounded by people who really just didn't want me to succeed and didn't want me to do well. And work-wise, I've done all right work-wise. I've done quite well financially, but there's more to life than that. And as I said to Catherine, I probably would have been around. Even if we didn't make a dime, if we didn't make any money whatsoever, I'd be happy to be around Empower, just because it's great to actually be around people who've got a positive attitude. I've not had that at all, other than Catherine. You just wouldn't believe. So it's just amazing to actually be around people who actually got, a kind of can-do attitude. It was, and as far as the event was concerned, I was listening to a few recordings from Dave Wood, and one of the things he said was, people who are successful, because you talk about this income disclosure, and a lot of people just don't take action. They don't do what needs to be done, and funnily enough, they don't earn any money. But one thing that Dave Wood said was, one of the things that you'll know if someone's successful is they'll go to events. The people that are successful will go to events, keep on going to events, they'll make a commitment, they'll take action, which, we got on a plane and we took our small kids and we went to the event, and it wasn't just about getting on the plane, it was actually about kind of making a commitment, and it tells yourself that you're going to take it seriously. So it was kind of a statement for us as much as anything else. We want to be successful, we want to do well, and it's not actually about the money for once. In my life, it's not about the money. It's about wanting to take control of my own life and also wanting to improve my life and improve the lives of others. We're very much into, we've been having lots of conversations about what we actually want about this, and Catherine's very much into goal setting and visualization. I just want to get off and do stuff, but she's no, we've got to actually know what you want. And it's the first time I've actually kind of really taken that seriously. Said, yeah, okay, well, what do we want? What do we want to do? How do we want to approach this? And I've got to say, personally, since I've been doing Empower, I've just had so many ideas, so many kind of revelations about what to do, ideas about this, ideas about that. It's like Empower's been a bit like a kind of mental enema for me. I've just been so blocked up and just doing the same thing day in, day out, and to actually do something completely different is really, it's really inspiring, really amazing, really.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have to admit, I somewhat take it for granted. It's so great to hear you, Davin, talking about just coming to an event and being around a couple of thousand positive people who are on purpose, who have goals. That's all that Melissa and I spend our time with now. And every once in a while we'll go back to a family party or something like that, and or I have to go to the renew my driver's license every few years, so hang out with the people at the DMV or something like that. But you touched upon something that's so important, and Roberto said it earlier, or maybe it was you that said it. Most people will not do the work, and there are people out there who do not want to see you succeed in your circle of influence. And first time I heard that, I didn't really believe it. I thought, well, why would my family or why would my friends not want me to succeed? How could they be so mean? Like, of course, because I want everybody to succeed around me. I have no issues with that. I think it's great. I love it when people out-earn me, people on my team that out-earn me. That's awesome. So, but there's something psychological about that, and I don't know if a lot of people watching the broadcast here ever thought about this, but your family kind of knows who you are. I'll use my wife Melissa as an example. She's the youngest of 5 kids. There was her sister Diane, and then her brother Gerard, and then Melody, and then Nancy, and then her. So as little Melissa grew up, the other 4 were anywhere from 8 to 15 years older. So she was always little. But when she started in this industry, adults, there was a lot of tension with the other 4 because all of a sudden the little sister seemed to be doing a little bit better than the other 4, and it opens up. It just puts people out of their comfort zone, and if you're not careful, it can really cause some trouble. But there's a way around that. You've got to be immune to that. You've got to also have conversations with those friends and family. Let them know that, hey, I'm going to make a run for my goals, and you're more than welcome to join me. I have an incredible group of people that I'm working with. I'd love for you to come on this journey with me, but if not, hey, I still want to make sure that we're cool and all of that. It took me a while to figure out how to do that correctly because I got caught up in that as well. But Davin, what you said was like, oh man, there really are. You walk into the job and people are just kind of getting through the day. They're not sure if they really want to, if they're even going to make it through the week, for crying out loud. Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up. And you're right. You've got to, what Dave Wood said, you've got to commit. And once you commit with your actions, because people will do what you do. They're not going to do what you say you're doing. And the fact of the matter is that you and Catherine can, for the next 90 days, tell everybody that comes in contact with you, yes, we got on a plane, we flew to America with our 2 kids. We had all the excuses in the world. I remember when you guys joined the team, and I mentioned to you about coming to Orlando, and I think that Orlando? Actually, that's not true. I definitely was a little bit of a stretching for you guys, that's for sure. But well done on getting out of your comfort zone. This broadcast, who are not having results, from the 10% who are having results. And the good news is that anybody watching this broadcast can make that leap from the 90% not having results to the 10% who are. And then when you become part of the 10% club, there's another 10% that gets same game once you're here, and you start to realize, well, there's really no difference between the guy behind the screen there and me. In fact, I'm better looking, I'm younger, and I have a better looking wife and all that stuff. That's the stuff I used to say when I was new. So I know you're watching the broadcast and you already had enough, probably like, okay, just join. Click the link below and it's right there. I think it's $7 right now. I mean, it's ridiculous for $7. If you guys have any more thoughts on this topic, we can continue on this. But I want to move into the actual meat and potatoes and give you guys a plan of exactly what to expect when you join a team. And I also said at the top of the broadcast, we'll show you how to get to $3,000 part-time within 30 to 90 days, and also to $10,000 or more per month within 90 days if you're full-time. So any other thoughts that you want to have on this topic or anything else, Roberto? I think it's your turn now, or Davin?
No. If I was watching this broadcast, I'd be like, let's do this thing, man. What are you going to show us? I'd be pretty excited about that. And really, I just want to pre-frame what you're about to go into, because some people, they're like, what's this all about? And only $7. But I tell you what, it's what you're about to share with us. I mean, you're going to share with us what an incredible value $7 can get you in America today, or if they're around the world, actually, or wherever. So, yeah, go for it, man. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And I'm actually going to just do this. I'm going to have you guys, instead of like getting out the whiteboard and all that stuff, I got my whiteboard back there. I meant to do this earlier also. I haven't figured out how to do the whole thing on the screen yet, where I'm writing on the screen. So you guys just have to pick up a pen and paper and do it the old-fashioned way. It actually helps people to pay more attention too, because if I just do all the work here and you're watching the broadcast right now, you ought to be paying attention, because in the email I said put your kids to bed so you can pay attention. So grab a pen and paper. I want to show you guys exactly how this can work and show you the exact plan that Melissa and I did when we started, and how we went from $0, because we were bankrupt in December of 2011. We joined in March 21st of 2012, and 90 days later, at the end of June, we had our first 5-figure month, and then we had our first $20,000 month the following month. So I want to show you guys exactly how to do that, and it's going to take a couple of things here. In fact, this would be really funny if I did this way. This would be kind of a little different. I'm going to do this. Let's do this. What if I came over here to my what I showed you guys here? I hold my laptop with my right hand, and I'll just. Can you guys see this? Can you see what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, this what I had here on my whiteboard the other day. I did a training with the team last week, and I know Davin and Roberto, you already heard this, but some of the guests on here might not have heard this. I gave the team an assignment last week, and that was to figure out what freedom means for you. You heard it from Roberto. You heard it from Davin. What does freedom look like for you? For most people, all they think about is, well, dang, Kevin, if I could just get out of my job, I'll be free. And the truth of the matter is, you're not free, because now you're home and now you're broke. We've got to teach you how to generate an income. Otherwise, you're going to be back to the job within 3 to 6 months. So we've got to teach you how to become prosperous at home. And then paid and all of that. Then, well, what can I do now? Because my bills are paid. I'm funding my 401k or my Roth IRA, or I've got my 8 months of emergency cash in my checking account or in my Roth IRA or whatever, and things like that. And now I'm starting to scale up. That's what we want to teach you on this broadcast here tonight, to think ahead. Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of people in this industry talk about, well, I just had a $30,000 month, I had a $50,000 month, but then 3 months later they're broke because they spend it as it comes in, or worse yet, they're not structured properly and they end up paying a higher tax rate. And I'm not here to talk about taxes on this broadcast, because I'm certainly not qualified. Well, I kind of am, but I'm not going to talk about that on the broadcast. But I will say that I'm very qualified to talk about how to have a $30,000 month and spend it all and not take advantage of taxes, what Melissa and I did, and that's why we went bankrupt in 2011, because 2008, 9, and 10 we made money, but then we didn't plan on how to keep it and protect it, and lo and behold, it goes away if you don't if you don't do it correctly. So hopefully that hasn't happened to anybody else in this broadcast, but I'm pretty sure statistically somebody else has filed bankruptcy on this broadcast, and I actually don't remember, Davin or Roberto, if you guys unfortunately had to go through something like that, but I'm sure that you guys at one point or another maybe had more month than money, or is it just me? Did you guys ever go through that?
No. I was pretty close. I almost lost the house, and you know, had to go through some financial restructuring. So no, you're not the only one, Kevin.
How about you, Devin? Anything happen like that for you, or is it just me?
No, I man, where do you start? I had a very bad marriage previously with Catherine, and to cut a long story short, I had to go similar to bankruptcy, but you know, I kind of had an awful lot of debt, and tried to rebuild it from there. So yeah.
That's how Melissa was when I met her. She had a first husband. She had a first spouse as well, and so I didn't realize that. So you guys have a lot more in common than I thought. So that was a pretty interesting time for us as well. So so over to this exactly. How do we get this thing off the ground here? And I want to talk to you guys about my results, Roberto's results, Davin results will not be results. See the income disclosure at the bottom of the page, and I'm going to show you exactly how Melissa and I got off the ground in 30 days. Now we worked from home, like some of you guys know, and but what we didn't know was how to generate how to build a list online. Nobody had ever shown us how to do that. So when we joined in March of 2012, we purchased the products to teach us how to start generating leads on a daily basis. So we had eyeballs coming to our website, and then we had people saying, yes, Kevin, I like the presentation. I'm ready to join. Here we go. But it took me a couple of weeks to figure all of this out. But I want to show you guys a really how to do this. And I actually showed this to the team last night because you know, a lot of people are new and they think, oh, well, Kevin, it's going to take me a while to get this going. But what if I told you that today you could find one person on planet Earth here? We're just going to talk about planet Earth. We have some friends that have extraterrestrial friends and all that. We're going to stick to planet Earth. There are 7 billion people, and I think at least 1 billion are online. There's probably more. But can you find one person who will put their email address into a capture page? And by the way, when you go to that red button at the bottom of this page right now, whoever invited you, you'll have that same exact page right there. That's the page. You look at that red button right there. So by doing that, what we find is that typically, especially if there's some kind of a relationship where, you know, they already know you, maybe from Facebook, or maybe they know you because they live down the street or something like that, about 1 out of 10 will buy. All right? I'm just going to say that, 1 out of 10. But it may take you 10 days to figure out how to get 10 names in that box right there. So I want you on your piece of paper there, not the number 1 through 90, but I'm just going to show you this example. I'm going to do 1 through 10 here. And realize that first, today was November 2nd, tomorrow is November 3rd, right? So it's a good time when we do this broadcast here. So you can catch up here. It's Sunday night, so tomorrow is going to be November 3rd, Monday, November 3rd. So you can probably find 3 people on Monday, maybe 2 left over from Sunday, and 1. So you're going to have 6 people. You're going to have 6 people in your funnel. Now I told you that it's going to take 10 in order to make a sale, right? So what if we did it this way? What if we went over the first 10 days and taught you how to generate an extra person a day coming into your capture page? So you've got, when you add these numbers up, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, that's 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36, 45, 55, right? 55, right. So in the next 10 days, you'll have 55 people asking for information. Now, Kevin, how am I going to do this? Well, if you click the button below, you're actually going to join for $7, and we're going to introduce you to one of our personal professional business coaches who is actually going to walk you through these steps of exactly how all of this works. And that's another really cool feature, by the way. Having a professional business coach available to help, because when you're to your people, they join you right after you join. So we've got these coaches in place to really help. So they're going to walk you through exactly how all this works. But I'm telling you, if you have 55 people this week who ask for information into how to join your business, you're going to generate about 10 sales when this happens. Okay, about 5 sales when this happens. I didn't think that was right. 5 sales, okay? Now, when I did this, I started generating cash right away. Now, 5 sales like this in week number 1 is pretty good. And we're just talking about $7 sales. It's not that much. You know, so you're going to make about, I don't know, about $20 because you make about a 70% commission, okay? And again, typical, not typical results. What you're going to find is that about half of them are going to upgrade. And as you go through this process, you know, you're going to have more people joining throughout the end of the month. And by doing this, just this little step, this takes what I'm just showing you here takes 1 to 2 hours a day. 1 to 2 hours a day. Now I know if you want to start generating $3,000 a month part-time on the internet, you can find 1 to 2 hours a day. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care how many jobs, how many kids, how many grandmothers, how many spouses or ex-spouses you have. You will make the time because that's what leaders do. They make the time because they have a goal in mind. And if you don't know how to set a goal, we're going to teach you how to do that as well. Because when you have a why in place, a why that makes you cry, then you've got something that's going to help you stick. Because I know when I joined in 2012, I mean, when we joined, I spent the rent money to join and get started. And it was either do or die. If I blew that money and I didn't make that money back, we had no room left. And I think Melissa was ready to walk away from me at the time and take the kids and say, you know what, you need to go back and live with mom and dad and figure out how to get a job and all that stuff. So I was very, very motivated to turn things around. Very motivated. So I'm telling you that when you get inside of here, we're going to teach you how to put names into your inbox here in the first 24, 48 hours with our system. So that way you can turn around and have success right out of the gate. And you'll see that when you click that button below. We actually have lots of examples. You can scroll down and see about 3 or 4 pages of others on our team. People like Roberto, people like Davin, other people watching the broadcast. I see more people watching the broadcast here live now. If you're catching the recording, you'll just have to take my word for it. But as we go through this process, by the end of the first month, what Melissa and I did was that we actually generated, our first month, we generated over $3,000 by doing this. And we did this for, this was in 30 days. Now, I promised you 90 days on the, $3,000 a month within 90 days part-time. We were doing this full-time, though. We were doing this full-time. So that was just the back end of March. And then we did the same thing again in April. And the cool thing is that we had some leverage going because now we had people who were watching our offer for a while, people who were watching our offer, and then they realized, oh, you know what, I've seen all these emails from Kevin, and I see him on Facebook every day that he just made another sale. He made another sale. He made another sale. It must really be working. And over that month, that second month, we actually were closer to we were somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000. So I'll just use 6 as the number just to be clear, right? And then we went up again. We went up to over $8,000 in our. This was the end of March. We actually joined March 21st. So we actually in 10 days we made $3,000. This was in April, and this was in May, and then in June we went to our first event. We went to our first event in June. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. Roberta was talking about this. Davin was talking about this. We actually got to meet a lot of people who were having success using the same system that we're using that you're going to see when you see the button below. And we came back from that event and had our first 5-figure month. So it was over 10,000. I don't remember the exact what it was. And again, I've got to say income results will vary. So, these results are ours. We're not typical. Neither are Davin and Roberto. You may be or you may not be. But I'm telling you, this simple model right here, this is the thing to take away from the broadcast tonight. You can join and have one more person a day get the information. So at the end of 30 days, here's what happens at the end of 30 days. You've got 30 people who are asking for information on a daily basis. And by doing that, you're going to have multiple people joining your team a day and getting this trial offer. And what's so nice is that on the inside, you're going to see people are going to be upgrading on their own while you're maybe watching TV with the kids, or while you're out to dinner, or while you're actually working on your business, learning how to take your business to 5 figures monthly. So this right here is something that anybody can do right now with a little bit of work ethic. Well, actually a lot of work ethic. That's the hardest part, is being committed to your business. And again, typical results, not typical, but are they possible? I mean, you guys tell me. Roberto, is it simple to generate one lead on the internet in a day if you don't know what you're doing and you just follow the system? Have you been able to do that?
I've been able to do that, Kevin, following the system, exactly. I just following what's working. There's no need to reinvent something. You're telling us what to do, or the other leaders telling us what to do. I mean, it's there laid out for you.
Yeah. I know me personally, sometimes I've gotten a little bit lazy over the 2.5, almost 3 years I've been doing this, and sometimes my numbers go down because I don't do the work. And if I don't do the work, I can kind of get away with it because we have a large team now. But in the beginning, I was diligent for that first 90 days. We came back from Atlanta from about June 15th until we met in San Diego about September 15th. Those 3 months, we generated over $57,000. I think it was $57,425 in 90 days. Not typical results, but I want you guys to look at this number and realize, what would that do if you made that in the next 12 months? I mean, for me, I never made more than $25,000 at a job in my life, which is pretty ridiculous. You know, the average income, I think somewhere is between 30 and 40,000 here in the United States. I'm not sure what it is over in the UK. Probably a little bit more, but that's what's possible here, guys. And even if it took you 6 months, or what if it took you 12 months to do that? You know, working with this team, we have leadership in place to help you. We have a brand new blogging platform that's about to launch here this month that's going to take our business to another level, because you'll not only be able to, you know, broadcast your results on Facebook like we've been doing for the past couple of years, and on Twitter and the other social media, but now we've got this WordPress blog that's going to be able to search and rank and get our keywords out there in a very precise way. So when you have a result, you can start putting it out there, and a lot of people are going to come to you. Blogging is really a great way to generate a business when you don't have a lot of cash to advertise your business. And by the way, when we generated this over 90 days, our advertising budget was zero. We did this all for free. No paid advertising or anything like that. So I'm here to tell you that joining the team, we have resources in place to show you how to move forward quickly and confidently. So that's what I really wanted to share with you guys on the broadcast. Nothing too profound. It's not too tough, not too complicated. But just some words from you guys as we close out the broadcast. Davin or Roberto, what do you got? What's coming up for you guys?
Yes, so I'm just looking forward to. You mentioned about the new blog, and you know, people could approach this different ways and with different strands. And I know you've been, Kevin, really amazing with Facebook, and I've seen the way I've been kind of stalking you on Facebook to see how you do things, and it's kind of amazing. That's obviously how you managed to get our attention on Facebook, by just we were looking at what you were doing and thinking, look at this guy, you know, he seems to be just having a great time, and we actually saw you go from your the property in Pennsylvania, I think it was, all the way through to finding your dream home in Florida. And you know, you can really describe the journey, and we got kind of interested and thought, well, you know, we'd like some of that. But for myself, I really like writing. I've always wanted to be a writer. I was a bit of a kind of frustrated, you know, wanted to be, and I really like the idea of blogging, and the idea that you can blog about what you're interested in, get other people interested in it, and by doing so get them to your site, and then, you know, to the left, to the right, up, down, there's somewhere to click, and people will do that, and you're going to get leads simply by writing about what you're interested in and getting other people interested in that. So I'm really excited to be doing it. I'm really looking forward to the blog, the new blog.
Yeah.
It's going to be introducing.
Yeah, you said something there, Davin. I want to touch on this because just yesterday I took my son Tanner down to Sarasota. He's really been interested in film editing and producing movies and things like that. And there's actually a school in Sarasota called the Ringling Arts and Film School, or something. I can't remember the name of that school. I can't remember it again. But we were actually talking to one of the professors, and I asked the question. I said, "What can Tanner do over the next 3 years that will really prepare him?" And the professor said, "You know what? If he learns how to storytell, if he learns how to write, if he really learns how to communicate, that's what really is critical to success." You know, you think about Steven Spielberg, you think about the great movie writers, and you think about the great writers who can communicate. That's such a lost art in this technological world sometimes. You know, if you have the greatest looking website with the greatest graphics and video and things like that, but there's no story behind it, you know, people aren't going to stick around. And I appreciate you saying that about Melissa and I. We have been around. We went from Pennsylvania to Arizona, and you know, back to Florida and back to Arizona. And now we're here in Florida again. We can't seem to make up our mind. We're like ping pong balls. But it's interesting. Yeah, people remember your stuff when you put it out there. I love following people on Facebook and seeing what's going on to see. You know, it's just entertaining to me to see people who are willing to put their lives out there for others to learn from. I've learned a lot from watching people grow in this industry and seeing people who were kind of roughed up financially like I was, and seeing them succeed. Like our co-founder David Wood, he was somebody living in a van for crying out loud 5 years ago. So when I joined, I really related to the fact that he could only go up. He had no place else to go but up. I thought, well, heck, that's me too. So, hey, if he can do it, why not me as well? But that writing part, there are a lot of home businesses where you can sell soap and you can sell long distance, or you can sell this or sell that. But what I really see here working together as a team is that there's the personal growth factor, and I've seen so many leaders come through. I mean, Roberto, you and I have both grown so much over the years that we've known each other. I mean, if we went back and watched old footage of us a few years ago, it might not be so fun to watch. Well, maybe it would
Right.
be. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Be a little bit different. But that's the factor that I really love about this, is seeing people win and seeing people grow. I mean, we've already had 4 people on our team here in the 2.5 years we've been here who have exceeded 6 figures, and one of them, Elena Fraga, some of you guys know Elena, she's actually made more money than us this calendar year, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool that somebody on our team is out earning us, which is awesome. And there will be more. In fact, you watching right now, why not you? Why not you be the next 6-figure, 7-figure earner on the team? There's only one. You're just a decision away from getting started. That's all it takes. So, but yeah, I'm excited for you guys, because you guys are really starting to make things happen on the team here, and you've only been here for a very short time. And any closing thoughts as we wrap up here tonight? I know we still have. We managed to keep our audience intact here, which is amazing. So you guys did well. So appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I want to just touch on what Davin was talking about, the upcoming blog. This is the 3rd iteration of the Power Network blog, and going to the event and listening to the presenters there that were talking about the blog's features and what it can do for you and how it really adds value to the business, and I just tuned in and I got really excited, because just prior to going to the event, I attended 3 meetups. For those of you who don't know, meetups are they're localized meetings in your area where small business owners go, and they meet and exchange business cards and ideas and share strategies, and in some cases a bit of a pitch fest about, hey, look, I offer this and that, and that's fine and all, in the spirit of offering to the community what your services or products are. And so I'm here. What I'm holding, Kevin and Davin, is a short stack. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Business cards. Yeah. Okay. So I've got a short stack of business cards. Okay, and I was thinking about this after the event, because what they shared at the event is, with this new blog, you'll be able to go ahead and help people, small business owners, help them gain a larger presence online through the use of a blog. Now, there's a lot of companies out there that'll host blogs, but at a much higher cost, and business owners, they're looking to maximize profits. They're looking to stretch their dollar. And so what I see coming for me is taking this small stack here, and this is just from going to a few of the meetings here locally, but I could go ahead and look through this stack and research real quickly online whether or not this particular business has a blog. And even if they did, I could quickly build a blog for them, a sample blog, and then just showcase it to them. And you talk about offline marketing strategies. This is just one such way to utilize that blog. But I mean, I'm telling you, all this talk about the internet marketing and online business and all that, we haven't even begun to scratch the surface with offline money-making strategies with a blog. And so I'm pretty pumped about being at the forefront of using the blog to help people, such as this person who sells real estate, another person who sells essential oils, more real estate, a person who drives, a personal driver, like an errand runner. Do these people have a presence online? Maybe, maybe not. Could they stand to generate more leads for their business to grow? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want that? Another person selling alarm systems, somebody who's a personal coach. Heck, we even got somebody who could probably benefit from a blog because they're into they sell adult products, if you will. And I mean, somebody with an art gallery. I mean, you know, people, they don't know it. And some people just don't know it, but they need a blog. You know, if businesses to survive and thrive anymore now, what I got, a big takeaway from the event is I learned that people need a blog. They need some presence online to drive foot traffic, to drive people to their websites, and in a way that's very low cost but highly effective. So that's what's up for me, Kevin. I'm pretty excited about that, and I can't wait to be a part of that beta test group.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that, Roberto. That's really a great point. We have products here that are not just for people who are looking for an opportunity to work online and generate an income. You know, like what Roberto said, we have who do you know that wants to increase their business online? We have the solution to help people with that, and by doing so, we get compensated pretty handsomely for that, which is kind of a nice side effect as well, which is cool. So. Yeah, that's the part I'm really looking forward to, Roberto, because I mean, my first job out of college was in radio advertising sales, and I met so many business owners over the years who were just so struggling in promoting their business. They're in business because they're a chef at the restaurant. They're in business because they love their computer store. They're in business because they love their restaurant, not because they want to market. They know how to market. And all of us, what an intangible commodity that if we can learn how to communicate, like what Davin was saying earlier about learning how to write, learning how to be of influence. You know, I mean, we're all going to go to a family party probably between now and the end of the year. The life of the party. Why not you? Well, you can be the life of the party. Well, how do you become the life of the party? Through influence, through communication, through learning how to communicate with a lot of different people. That's a skill. And that's a skill set that we have here on this team. So again, one more time, if you haven't already done so, just get started for $7. You can try us on for 7 days, and this time next week you can maybe be ready to say goodbye to the boss by the first of the year. Or more of the same, up to you. Any closing thoughts for you, Davin, before we wrap up the broadcast tonight?
No, Ken, I'm just really, I mean, I've got like 100 plus ideas on how to go forward, and obviously I'm sure we'll be talking about that when we have our little team hangouts in the weeks to come. I'm just, just really excited to get going on there. I've got my blogs lined up. I've already been putting some out there. I've got a whole bunch more lined up. We've got a whole, Catherine and myself, we've got a whole strategy worked out on how we're going to do things. And I'm really wanting to, I want to get people on board because I want to help people. This is what we want to do. We want to actually get people who need help, and we want to be able to offer that help to them. So we're excited to get people on board as soon as we can.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Davin. I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning for you right now, and appreciate you being up. And all the best to Catherine as well, who hopefully is sleeping right now so she can be up with the little ones early in the morning.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, all right, folks. Well, I appreciate you all for being here tonight. Again, if you have any questions, just get back to the person that invited you here to the broadcast tonight. We have a frequently asked questions button on the bottom. But like I said, get started. Understand that the next step for you is that you have a professional business coach who will be in touch with you, and then certainly you'll be meeting Roberto, Davin, or myself within the next 24 to 48 hours. And what we'll do is help you put together a personalized strategy plan so that way you can be successful. We can find out what your strengths are and help you work with those strengths. So in the first 30 days, you can have a tangible result, be able to brag to the world about that, and maybe, just maybe, be part of the solution rather than part of the problem going into the first half of 2015. Connect along with Roberto and Davin. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for being here on the broadcast. We'll see you soon on another live broadcast. Click the button below. Welcome to the team, and we'll see you on the inside. Bye for now.